Good day, planet Earth. Michael Litten, the last DJ, host of Ride the Vibe, playing what he wants to play and saying what he wants to say. And in this case, totally stoked to have Gwen Hughes on the show. As Grady Harp writes on Amazon Music, not only does Gwen Hughes have an exceptional voice by anyone's standards, but she surpasses the magnificent gift with the manner in which she makes the terrific songs communicate. Gwen has produced music with diverse sets of musicians, from John Driscoll Hopkins with Zac Brown Band to Drew Young to Carla Simmons. Gwen, welcome to Ride the Vibe.
Thank you so much, Michael. It's so awesome to be here.
And this is a first.
Yes.
Because we are in the super califragilistic, expialidocious Sandbox Studio South.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's unbelievable.
I came here for the grand opening. I was just so honored to be a part of it. And I've known Mike Natchez and his family and all that put this together. And I just think it's a gem. People are going to find it. And then,
you're not going to be able to get in here
no,
because it's going to be too booked.
He won't talk to me. He'll be like, who?
Yeah,
what?
Exactly. We'll be flotsam in the wake. So we have to give a huge shout out to Mike Natchez, Mike and Jennifer Natchez. And then on the technology, we also have Giuseppe Galato, G, as he's known, formerly with Dirty South TV. And then we got James Thomas doing the social media. So we're totally stoked. And Gwen, for your fans that are Legion, but may not be familiar with Ride the Vibe, the way we roll the show is we're going to play 6 of your songs, just a couple minutes of each track, because we want to tease the audience up to go to www.gwenhughes.com to actually buy the music, so you might make a little money as opposed to Spotify.
Be awesome.
And we encourage them to sit back in a comfortable environment and get a beverage of their choice. And in the studio, you and I are featuring one of my favorite product placement sponsors, DrinkMate. And DrinkMate is the carbonate anything beverage maker. They put a little sparkle in life, just like you, so you can put this on your counter and carbonate anything you want.
Carbonate my morning coffee.
You could.
I like it. I mean, I love it. I'm
Tastes
like,
good, doesn't it?
Obviously, look at my glass compared to your glass.
So that's the way we're going to roll the show. What do you think?
I am so down with it. I'm just all about going with the flow. Let's do it.
Or riding the vibe, as the case may be.
I ride that vibe.
We'll talk about how you met Mike. Let's start there. Mike and Jennifer.
Oh, how did we meet? Because we were brought together doing a live in Roswell gigs through our mutual friend Tom Ladow.
Yeah.
And Mike and Damien. I've known Damien and Austin since they were very young tykes.
They were doing the sound for Tom.
Damien was working with Mike running sound.
That's how I met him too.
Yeah.
Music on the Hill? Yeah. Or live in Roswell.
We did Music on the Hill.
Yeah.
We did Music on the Hill, and then we floated all over the place doing, mainly in that main park.
Yeah.
We did, got rained out more than once.
Yes.
And that was...
Well, you were in good company. Carla Harris got rained out. Jeff Pike got rained out. Yeah.
It's just the way it is. I know, yeah.
Very cool. So you guys go back how long?
Oh, I bet 10 years or more at this point. It's just, that's what's incredible to me is, like, I realize I've been doing this a long time. Thank you, God. I'm so blessed to have still been doing this. But when I say that I know that I've known Mike Natchez maybe 10 years, I'm like, but wait, he's somebody I met recently.
Yeah, in the scheme of things.
So then there's all these other people that I've now can calculate I've known 20 years or 30 years that are still in my life that I might even still be making music with. And that's just
I love it.
Extraordinary to me. I mean, I'm sure you feel the same way.
Well, you put on such a great performance at the grand opening a year ago, Thanks. Mother's Day weekend, and you were performing with Michael Duff.
That's right.
Talk a little bit about, because you guys go back.
Well, we have met, but honestly, here's breaking news. I don't believe we'd ever worked together before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't even think we'd met before.
No way.
But
the chemistry, it looked like you guys.
He's phenomenal, and we're both, it ain't our first rodeo.
Yes, right.
And so, you bring together people who know what they're supposed to do. And there were just two of us.
Yeah.
But I remember that was just a whole lot
fantastic.
of fun.
Yeah.
Boy, that was great.
Yeah, ton of fun. Well, cool. Well, we talked about queuing up some of your songs.
Sure.
What do you think about A Stranger's Kiss? Well, Stranger's Kiss.
That takes me back. That is from my second album, Lost and Found. And a lot of my songs are really about just kind of what's the meaning of life and what's the meaning of life? What am I here for?
I love it.
And this is one of those songs.
And this is off of Lost and Found.
Correct. And it begins with, I don't know where you're going to cue it up, but some people that I don't get to work with so much and some people that are no longer with us are on this album.
Let's play it, and then you can talk about all of them when we come back. So if we could, guys, Stranger's Kiss.
Seem to matter much how I spend my time. Never find the syllables to the words I wanna write. I make $1 million a day just standing on the street, but I can't remember all the elegant people that I meet. All this pretty paradise is really just passing through. If you don't believe me, you better look inside of you and ask yourself sometime, how can it be like this? And how much of this paradise will I really live? Looking for some meaning makes me tired sometimes, till I stop and listen to the one who is my guide. Oh, yeah. He's never too far away from the cliff of which I died, just holding arms to catch my aimless flailing shuck and jive. All this pretty paradise really just passing through. And if you don't believe me, you better look inside of you and ask yourself sometime, how can it be like this? And how much of this paradise will I really meet? How much will I miss? How long will I miss? How much will I
You are back on Ride the Vibe. Michael Litten having a fantastic conversation with Gwen Hughes. That was Stranger's Kiss off of Lost and Found. And you talked a little bit about the song and your inspiration for it, but you also referenced some of the players that have passed.
Yeah. Well, the trombone player on that is I don't know if you knew him, Adam Mowerder.
Okay.
He played with, now I'm not going to remember the name of the band. Oliver Wood and Marcus Henderson. Oh, gosh. It'll come back to me after we're done here.
That's all right.
But
people can go research it.
You can go research it.
And you should.
Put a graphic on YouTube later, and it says the band she was trying to think of. Anyway, he's not. But then the drummer on this is my dear friend Forrest Robinson, who was my first real, for me starting a band, my first real drummer. And he's in L.A. now.
Wow.
Is like the sub drummer for Def Leppard, has toured with Joe Sample and India Ari, and tragically just lost his house in the Altadena fire, but is okay. He and his wife are okay, and everything's fine. But and Steve Cunningham on guitar, just Neil Starkey on bass. Oh gosh, this is over 20 years ago.
Man,
I think we released it in 2002.
But so timeless. I mean, it sounds as fresh listening to it now as when you
aren't you kind?
Recorded it 20 years ago.
Yeah, we did that a lot. This song was huge when I was touring in Europe.
Yeah.
The European band I worked with mainly because it was managed by the drummer, Tommy.
Yeah.
That song was a big part of our tour show because he got to really do some drumming.
What would be the one thing you would like listeners to take away from this conversation, Gwen, if you could distill your life experiences down? I mean, that's a hard question, maybe, because you have such
I think
vast
that
experience.
the timelessness of music, and the fact that I feel like I'm a walking example of being given the gift early on to follow your dream.
Who gave you?
My dad, he
Musician? Or?
he was a writer. So he had an artist's soul.
Yes.
And I remember I was working a really perfectly good corporate job. And I said,
one of those gigs.
Oh, well,
Yes.
yeah. I said, I want to quit this and go sing for $250 a week in Holiday Inns. And he said, you got to do it to know.
Wow.
And I think that's great advice because you should.
He released you. Yeah.
But we all need, if you've got something that you think you want to do with your life, you must try it. Mm-hmm. Don't just talk about it. Yeah. Try it, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else.
Right.
But then also, well, you have to kind of decide how important money and status is to you. I'm very middle class, so my dad also followed that up by saying, if you haven't made any money in 5 years, let's talk about this again.
Might want to revisit that corporate gig.
Yeah.
Stay on good terms with them.
That's right.
Don't burn any bridges.
That's right. Yeah. And didn't go back to the corporate world, thank goodness. But
Where'd you grow up, Gwen?
Here in Atlanta.
ATL.
Yeah. I'm from Greenville, South Carolina originally.
Wow.
But then we had a couple of years on the West Coast, and then we came back to Atlanta when I was 10.
Oh my God.
So I've been here a long time.
Seen a lot of changes.
Whew, yeah.
But such a vibrant music scene. I'm kind of unrecognized.
Yeah, I think it used to be like, I feel lucky that I got to be part of when the live music scene was really more significant.
Yes.
I think live music now, the pandemic and so many other things, social, being able to watch anything you want at home, unfortunately kind of affected that. Yeah. And I still enjoy, I feel like my greatest strength is really being a performer.
Yeah, live.
Do
you feed off the energy?
Yeah, and I started in theater, and I'm still an actor.
Yes, I want to talk about that.
Yeah, so I still, performance is, and jazz particularly has always helped me. It just really makes me feel vital because you have to be so present. And so in performance, I'm the most present. Mm-hmm. I kind of am doing anything in my life. Yeah. Yoga is the other thing that maybe I am. Yeah. And I think the two have a corollary. As well.
Yeah, they kind of go hand in. Yes. So big fan.
Oh, it's
because it puts you in the precious present.
The precious present.
Which
Amen.
is so important now, where we're so distracted by.
I don't feel like I am terribly present in anything because I'm always like, you and I were talking before about when we met and when I met G and all this. I actually have kind of an issue with remembering stuff, which could be early onset.
No, don't even say it.
Not going to go there.
No, good. Perfect.
But I actually think it has more to do with the fact that I live in the future. I'm always planning, what's the next date? Gig, what have I got to do with the next gig? What am I doing? And so being present or in the past is not a place I occupy very much.
Interesting.
And that's not, I'm trying to work on that, is what I'm trying to say.
And yoga helps. Yeah, and yoga helps.
Yoga has helped. Yoga changed my life.
I love it. I want to talk about that, but we're going to play a complete, pretty much departure, I think, would you say, from Stranger's Kiss.
Sure.
In the song Renew.
Which, speaking of yoga.
Yes, and I want to hear about the backstory because that's a single. You've just and it's off your ambient music.
Well, it's not, I don't have an album called ambient music. It's part of the ambient music genre.
Okay.
We'll talk,
Yeah, perfect. So if we could, fellas, cue up Renew by Gwen Hughes. We are back on Ride the Vibe. Michael Litten, that was Renew. And Gwen was talking about before the song, yoga renewing her, and then talk about this song, Gwen.
Yeah, well, gosh, I'm sure people who heard Stranger's Kiss or just dialed it back in were like,
going,
what
"Whoa,
happened
yeah."
to the podcast?
You got to stick with us, people, because Gwen's got a vast repertoire, lots of genres. And we're enjoying our drink mate.
If we are
So
indeed.
cheers to drink mate. Thank you all.
And you know what? Not too carbonated.
No, correct.
For a podcast where you don't want to make unsightly sounds.
Other than our chairs.
Unsightly sounds. That's an oxymoron.
Could be a song title, though.
Yeah, I like it. This music is not released under my own name. It's released under the name Ale Light. I guess that's how you'd say it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you said it because I'd have butchered it totally.
I know. Well, I wrote it. I've never said it out loud. I just realized.
You guys are hearing it first on Ride the Vibe.
Allez.
Yeah.
Allez means go
Yes.
in French. Light.
Yeah.
Light. I'm all about love and light.
Yeah.
And my label and I were just talking, and my dear friend Kabir runs the label, and he was like, what do you think about this? And I said, well, he says, you can just do it by yourself. And I went, what?
Yeah.
Not having to hire people or manage anybody?
So that was appealing, the independence.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm learning as I go.
Yeah.
So you put it up against some of the stuff that's out there. It's not as maybe produced.
Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying it. And
Will it become an album? Will
oh,
Renew
yeah.
go-
I already have some stuff out under
Okay.
Ale Light.
Yeah.
And this will be out April 30th.
And how does it tie into yoga?
Well,
And and how yoga changed your
because
life.
that music in yoga is so, especially at the end, when you're
Shavasana.
approaching in the Shavasana.
My favorite spot for those who haven't done yoga.
It's lying flat on the floor.
And not moving.
We love it.
We do.
Is that by that time you're at Shavasana in yoga,
Yes.
that music is part of the healing, I
Yes.
think, because you've relaxed the vagus nerve, you're so present,
Yeah.
and then the music just washes over you, and the sound vibration is just so cleansing.
Yeah.
And so again, I really believe in music as a component
How
of.
do they do music in hot yoga? Because I have not ever done a hot yoga.
Oh, they're just the instructors running it off of their Apple Watch.
But it doesn't get compromised by all the moisture.
No, it doesn't seem to.
Interesting.
Well, there's not moisture really. It's infrared heat.
Oh, the heat. Oh,
Yeah, the only moisture is coming off of us.
I've had a misconception that it was like a steam kind of thing, but
I think, on humid days is when it's the hardest to do it.
yeah.
It's a dry heat. It's a dry heat.
Yeah, right. Like the desert.
Arizona.
When did you first recognize that you were creatively more adept, more evolved than your peers? Was there
Evolved. Oof.
was there a
I think I
point-
mainly just thought I was weird.
Did
And
you?
I didn't. I never felt like I fit in.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of that?
No, that was just kind of my insecurity inside, and I think that performing and being accepted, like singing,
Yeah.
was the first time I really felt like a teacher. I still feel like teachers are the
Yeah.
gatekeepers for kids really feeling like they can do something, because it's maybe the first time other than a parent somebody's telling you can do something well.
Did you have a good teacher?
And
that
I did.
encourage you.
Yeah.
Do you want to give a shout out? Are they still
Randy Wilbur,
still
Walton High School.
Still alive?
I think Randy's still out there. Yeah,
Wow.
we reunited a few years ago.
And encourage you. So you had your dad and Randy as two that really.
Yes, and so you finally have somebody saying you can do something, and
How about the contrast? Naysayers. Did you have some? Did you cast
oh
them out?
yeah, especially jazz police.
Ah,
You know,
oh.
just
Talk about the jazz
you're not a
police.
jazz singer.
Ah,
And I've never said I was a jazz singer. I'm a pop singer.
what did
who,
they mean by that? What did
I don't know. I still
But
don't.
they just said you're not. We dictate you're not.
yeah. Well, yeah. It happens because
Yeah.
I think when you're just expressing yourself, and then I have, because I started in theater, a lot of the jazz book back when I started in the late 80s was, and still is, includes Broadway tunes.
Yes.
That was the hit songs, right?
Yes.
Now there's a lot more pop tunes. But I think because I sang that, I have a lower voice. All of these things, I got kind of lumped into jazz, and I feel like, and I've surrounded myself with great jazz players.
Yes.
But I would be the first to say that I came in the back door of jazz. I've learned everything I know by osmosis.
Yeah.
I also love, like
So
James and I
take
were
that,
talking,
you-
I love Earth, Wind, and Fire and
Yes.
Stevie Wonder and
yeah.
Tower of Power. Or I'm not just, the Beatles were, it's the most influential band for me
For you.
ever.
Yeah, I wonder.
So I have a lot of influences. But I
love
think
it.
a lot of musicians do. So
Yeah, because passion for the music.
yeah, and you just get it. You just
In your
get
blood, you
attracted
can't- yeah.
to certain things. I don't think we can explain it. Why?
Well, you referenced a little earlier your many trips to Europe, so I'd
Mm-hmm.
like to cue up, if we could, So Long
Tigresh.
Tigres. Oh,
So
thank you
long,
for that.
Tigresh.
If we could, fellas, and we'll be right back.
It's take a bow and leave this show, won't make it through the night so long. And something's at the door this time, it's taking you away so long. Time moves like a river or sand to the sea. Spinning all the days and nights in circles, but not for me.
Kot pesek preglani pozi poljob zrato in smeh ti greš. Ne gledaš več nazaj, ne vidiš solz na licu, ti greš. Svet pa kot vedno naprej se vrti. Le da se v tej sobi veliko bolj hladen zdi.
You are back on Ride the Vibe. Michael Litten, that was a song that Gwen did in collaboration with an English Slovenian.
Slovenian. They were all Slovenian, Italian, Croatian
Yeah.
was the band.
And who's singing? Who's doing
That's
the-
Giga.
Yeah.
Giga
Slovenia.
and I. Yeah, he was the guitarist in our band. It was, I went through a couple of names, Mono,
Yeah.
and then Global Jazz Gang. And as I said before, Tommy Puric out of Portorož, Slovenia, managed the band, and Slovenia is very small,
Yeah.
nestled between Croatia and Italy. He brought together all these different musicians from the other two countries. Giga happens to be from Ljubljana, Slovenia.
Wow.
And they all speak English
Yeah.
beautifully because, English is the common denominator languages.
Yeah.
But so I love that, I've co-written a song in English and Slovenian.
I love it too, and so diverse, the three songs. And you clearly impressed the ambassador of Slovenia.
Oh,
because
Joe
he said,
Musamelli.
as a performer and person, Gwen is a delight, and the music that pours, actually gushes from her band, is stirring and refreshing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, the State Department sponsored a couple of tours for us.
Yeah.
through
cool is
Slovenia.
that?
Yeah, that was very cool.
And the audience is totally receptive and
Yes.
dug it?
Yes, it was. Oh, yeah. I mean, everything is true that you hear is that, especially jazz, and it's just more respected overseas than it is in the States.
Right.
And yet we invented it, and that's a shame.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah. Just.
Well, and we could say the same about the blues genre.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the blues is giant,
Right.
especially in Italy.
And then came back to us in the form of, the Beatles or the Stones in particular. And
I
it's
know. Cream.
crazy. So you
Yeah.
have to go, right. Just aficionados of the blues.
Yeah. It's poignant.
What top 3 albums, if you could do that, would you suggest that people have to have in their collection? I kind of put you on the spot a little bit, maybe.
Wow.
I know.
Well, that's personal preference.
Yeah. But I mean, you referenced the Beatles as one of the
Well, I
bands
mean, like my favorite Beatles album is Rubber Soul,
yeah.
but I don't know that that's as groundbreaking. Like if you were just somebody who wanted to learn about how to make great music, Abbey Road would probably be my number one choice.
Yeah.
And then after that, I mean, Kind of Blue or Take 5.
Yeah.
Gosh. And then the third album, I think what Don Was has done as a producer.
Yes.
Like Was Not Was.
Yeah. If you all don't know who Don Was, you need to check it out.
He's president of Blue Note, right?
Get your little devices out.
Yes. Swipe to W.
And
Yeah.
check him out.
What Was Not Was.
Yeah.
I just love the way he blended genres. I love, for me, I think because I am so ADHD about music, and I love just combining elements because that's how I feel about myself.
Yeah.
As an artist, I just think people and artists who do that, like the Beatles, Miles arguably did that.
Yes.
Because he moved into his electric phase.
Yeah.
And
Dylan, who moved into his electric phase and set
Dylan did it
Newport,
too.
The Newport Festival on fire, literally.
I know. And then the Beatles did that.
Yes.
It's all just about kind of sponging what's going on around you and going, I wonder what would happen if I've done jazz tunes with, lap steel guitar. Yeah. And we did a cover of Zeppelin tune.
Well,
we're getting to that.
Brilliantly,
but the original of this, I had Sean O'Rourke, the drummer, play the wall and the stairwell with drumsticks. I just am about that kind of experiment. I just love stuff like that.
Well, we better cue up Whole Lotta Love.
There we go.
Look at you. You take over my position.
I'm sorry.
Michael, have me booted out of here.
No.
How about Whole Lotta Love, fellas?
Want a whole lot of love. 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 So nice.
on Ride the Vibe. Michael Litten, the last DJ, playing what he wants to play, saying what he wants to say, and playing Gwen Hughes' incredibly diverse music.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Did you guess we've gone from kind of new age to to a whole lot of love?
Yeah.
And we're going to throw another curve at you here, so stick with us. And we are broadcasting the first Ride the Vibe show from the wicked awesome, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious Sandbox Studio South, owned by Mike and Jennifer Natchez. Can't tell y'all how unbelievable this place is, and you got to check it out.
It's
at some
so
point in time.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
And a great environment for us. So talk about doing a whole lot of love.
I know. Well, that falls into that. I had done some demos here in Atlanta with some Zeppelin because I again was like, well, I wonder what people have done. They've done kind of jazz things with Zeppelin, and then of course they have. But then I was like, this album. That was from Instead of Light, and that was produced in New York with the great Danny Kopelson, who engineered one of my life-changing albums, Cassandra Wilson's New Moon Daughter. I love her for some of the reasons we talked about, that she just uses a lot of her environmental, you can just really feel and hear the texture of where she recorded her stuff. Attempted that with this. This is in Philip Glass's studio in New York with just these incredible players. Ted Baker from Steely Dan, Kevin Kuhn, who was in the pit for Lion King, is on guitar. Denny McDermott, who played on Walking to Memphis, Mark Cohn. Anyway, I've left out a couple of them, but I thought, what would it be like if a woman sang A Whole Lot of Love? I've done that before, kind of turned stuff around. But then I thought, well, then let's take it a step further and let's also do the song that Led Zeppelin ripped off, which is You Need Love by Willie Dixon. Which is what we segue out of that weird droney thing at the beginning. That's a live segue. It's not a cut and paste. The guys did that live. I just followed. And then when we took it out, we're doing Willie Dixon's You Need Love. And that's what you talk about, all the Backdoor Man, and Kevin's just killing it on guitar.
And you see, y'all, how we're teasing you up to actually go to gwenhughes.com and buy the music.
Yes.
As opposed to, we're just teasing you up with a little bit, but there's a whole lot of more of that song.
There is.
Like
you can find me on Bandcamp.
5 minutes to 43.
Yeah, Bandcamp's
a better way to where they can buy
where
it.
they can buy it. Yeah.
Gotcha. So go out and do that, y'all.
Yeah, Bandcamp.
Instead of the
Gwen
Spotify
Hughes.
thing, go buy the album.
Thanks. Yes, buy the whole album.
I love it. Yeah, that's great.
But yeah, so that was just, again, us trying to be weird, me trying to be weird, and people going, oh, okay, I'll do it. But they liked it. Ted played the piano
it's a great
strings.
rendition of it.
Yeah, we had fun.
Well, and you look at what Hart did at the Kennedy Center with Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, well, please. Ann Wilson, come on.
Yeah. I mean, they had Jimmy Page, I think, in tears.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But Ann Wilson had me in tears when she was singing with Hart because she was so extraordinary.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So she'd be another one. Who would you, if you could wave one, who would you like to open for?
I've opened for Robert Plant.
No. Talk about that.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Oh, that was just part of a festival in Koper, Slovenia. Yeah. And I wouldn't say that I met him or it was like we opened and then I think hours later he came on. Who would I like to open for? Yeah. I don't even know. I mean,
or
not
play
anybody
with or share a bill with.
I mean, probably like Paul McCartney before I die. So
Paul, if you're listening to this podcast, and darn all you should be.
Hey,
ring her up, and you can do it here at the Sandbox Studio. Come to ATL, brother. You got to put it out there, right? Got to put the intention out there. You never know.
Thanks. Yes.
So Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney, cool. I mean, I don't know who else.
How about Paul Rogers? We talked in the run-up to the show.
Paul Rogers, yes.
All right. Lucy Pillar.
Lucy,
Can you make that happen?
Lucy, Michael Litten's got my number.
Hook her up. Hook a girl up.
Actually, now you've really planted a seed.
Yes. I think that could happen. Absolutely.
Ooh, goosebumps.
And we could do it here at the Sandbox Studio. Paul will be in, and Lucy could make that happen.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh. So, y'all, if you're still with us, we're going to throw another curve at you.
Oh, my gosh. This has been like anybody listening to this has whiplash.
No, but I think it's good. I love it. But,
Thank you.
We should do, I think we're going to queue up, if we could, fellas. This is My Father's World. So, little jazz hymn.
Right out of You Need Love.
Yeah.
Let me be your backdoor man.
And then we need some healing now.
This is my Father's world. Okay.
I love it. What do you think, guys? Can we do that? Nice.
This is my Father's world, and to my listening ears, all nature sings, around me rings the music of the spheres. This is my Father's world. The birds their carols raise, the morning light, the lily white, declare their Maker's praise. This is my Father's world. I rest me in the thought of rocks and trees, of skies and seas, His hand the wonders wrought.
This is My Father's World by Gwen Hughes. So we've covered all sorts of genres, Gwen, and I love it.
Well, thanks. I mean, I'm not the most consistent.
You don't want to be pigeonholed. Why would you?
I
You're
didn't know that I
bird.
had to be. Early on, I was like, I just want to do this now.
Yeah. Talk about that. So because you grew up singing hymns, right? And
Yeah. I grew up in
a
a really, in a pretty religious household.
Yeah.
And, which has its benefits. I think it impacted my life really positively. But I never really liked church hymns at all. I thought they were just kind of, and I think it was based on the people around me not knowing how to sing and not terribly passionate. Because once I got into African American churches and gospel, I went, oh,
little different.
So it can be like this,
Yes.
eh?
Yeah.
But again, this was from Kabir. It was his idea, my label. And what about church hymns? Because my label is very niche. And I said, well, yeah, that's something I have a familiarity with. Let's try it. Yeah. And This Is My Father's World is one of the best known church hymns there is. We have 2 albums out now, Jazz Hymns for Thanksgiving and Jazz Hymns for Easter.
Love it.
And we have shows.
So go out and Bandcamp. Because Easter's coming up, so you can get it. It's a timely thing. Put it in the basket.
There you go.
Give it to someone you love or whatever.
You'll hear our version of Christ the Lord Has Risen Today, which sounds like Twist and Shout.
Ah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So that's kind of what we did with them, which some people have been like,
think it a little sacrilegious.
What? Yeah. And I'm like, it's not sacrilege. But,
I love it.
Vive la différence.
Yes, and it should be that way.
Yeah. I'm not trying to convert anybody. I'm just trying to
give them diverse music.
Keep myself interested, really.
Yeah. What's next? What kind of projects you working on that?
I'm going to do a jazz hymns for Christmas probably next year. Yeah, that's a trifecta.
Perfect.
But that we may expand it into maybe more obscure Christmas folk songs as well. Yeah. And not just make it religious music.
Yeah.
So I'm doing some research on that.
Yeah.
Going to continue with the Allez Light stuff.
Yeah, nice.
And
Is
then
your
just
studio using that? Your studio using your LA Light music?
studio.
Yoga. Where you going for your yoga?
Oh, I don't know. I don't tell them.
What? You don't?
No, I think the greatest day is going to be when I'm like at the end of or in a session, and then I hear it and I go,
Oh, that they found it themselves.
I made it.
Yeah. You're in your Savasana.
Yes.
I'm in my own.
Oh, good. Turn it up.
I love it. And how about where they can see you? So go to
Thanks.
the website to see, because you got your list.
Our calendar is kept updated,
Yep.
but these jazz hymns projects have kind of led to me putting together a whole show called Jazz of the Soul, which is not just the jazz hymns. They're part of the repertoire, but is just kind of choosing a bunch of more positively themed songs from all genres.
Yeah.
And, Johnny Mercer, Accentuate the Positive, Sunny Side of the Street, but then also Sir Duke.
Yeah.
And Beauty in the World by Macy Gray, and Happy by Pharrell, of course.
Wow.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so we are doing that at the Academy Theater on April 13th, Palm Sunday.
Wow.
Get
Perfect.
tickets now,
All right.
academytheater.org.
Yep.
And then we're doing it at the Greenville Jazz Fest, and then
Back your hometown.
my
you said?
hometown, yeah. And then Coffee Underground in Greenville, and then just really trying to mount some more
Greenville's
performance.
kind of a really booming little town.
They
that
have
was very,
an incredible jazz scene there, an incredible art scene. Everything Atlanta used to be, and I think is kind of crawling slowly back
to.
We just got so big so fast.
Yeah.
In Greenville, I remember even when I was in college there, it was not so good.
Yeah.
And the renovation of downtown and what they've done to
it's
it,
unbelievable. Yeah.
I hand it to those city planners.
Yes.
Amazing.
Done a remarkable job. Well, we ought to cue up Mood Indigo.
Oh,
we got to
back
come
to jazz.
Yes, of course. We've come full circle, I think. So, fellas, could we cue up Mood Indigo?
You ain't been blue. No, no, no. You ain't been blue till you get that mood indigo. That feeling I go stealing down to my shoes while I sit and sigh. Go long. Always get that mood indigo since my baby said goodbye. In the evening when lights are low, I am so lonesome I could cry. 'Cause there's nobody who cares about me. I am just as blue as I possibly be when I get that mood indigo. I could lay me down so baby,
You are back on Ride the Vibe with Michael Litten. That is Mood Indigo from Gwen Hughes, and we've covered a wide range of diverse, I think, very very cool.
Thanks.
Diversity.
Yeah, this was. I mean, that's.
And that was live.
My heart is that kind of performance.
Yeah. Talk about that song and where you recorded.
Recorded live in a department store. We were playing for like the Junior League of Atlanta.
Yeah.
At a dear departed Parisian department store at Lenox Square.
Lenox, yeah.
And they were having a private event, and we were downstairs, and my dear friend Robert Drake, who is now artistic director of the Academy Theater.
Yes.
Everything goes around and comes around.
I love it, that karma.
Set up recording and just had this incredible band. And I called Mood Indigo. And so what you're hearing in all its, with all its flaws and strengths is our recording of Mood Indigo. Gary Motley on piano, Steve Cunningham on steel guitar, Nick Longo on bass, Forrest on drums. It was so fun. And,
I love it.
And yeah, I mean, jazz is my heart.
Yeah.
I love all.
If you were to default to one, if you were kind of, even though the Jazz Police said you were not a jazz singer.
Whatever. Carmen McRae also said, when they said you are one, she says, no, I'm not. I don't know what that is.
So take that, Jazz Police.
Yeah. Because I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't think I sing like some of the jazz, like Carmen McRae or some of the people that I really love.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. And
do your own thing.
I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
At any rate, what was I trying to say? Oh, Jazz Police. Jazz is my heart because it's the exploration of it. And then what I love is the best thing about it is playing in a jazz band.
Yeah.
And just the remarkable energy of that collaboration.
Yeah.
And as Wynton Marsalis says in the Ken Burns series, he says, jazz is the ultimate democracy. You have to listen to each other.
Yeah.
You have to know when to step up and when to pull back and when to support. And everybody should study some jazz to get along with other people. That's all I have to say.
And that's all we need to say. But we are going to, live, the Mood Indigo queued up, if you will.
Yes.
You are going to perform a song live these years. But before you do that, I just want to have you, kind of parting comments, thoughts, anything you want to share. You've shared so many nuggets of wisdom.
Oh,
Follow
you're
your
so
bliss,
sweet.
I heard. You do it now from your
do
father.
Do it now.
Don't wait.
Yeah, and then, I don't know, find some way to mitigate the frustration, and yoga is my way, and prayer and that kind of thing, because it is not the easiest life. There's a lot of refusal and rejection and you got to stay true to yourself, and sometimes that can be really hard.
I love
it.
And you've done that. Just the diversity of songs. You haven't allowed anyone to.
And I've questioned myself along the way a lot, but then ultimately you get to.
You hear your dad's voice going, "Do it."
Do it.
Well, we're going to do These Years live.
And this is a song I wrote for my parents. Their 50th
it.
anniversary.
Gwen, it has been just an absolute delight. Thank you so much. God bless you. Ride the Vibe, the first one from the Sandbox Studio South. Mike Natchez on production, Giuseppe on production, and James Thomas on production. Yippee!
Give it up.
God bless you all.
Team Michael.
Come along with me, the air is fine. Let me take you in my arms, put your hand in mine. The years have flown by just like feathers on a breeze. I'll do as I please, as long as you're along with me. I'll never mind the rain if you're there to keep me warm. Thanks for saying yes. These years with you have been the very best. Saying that do was the smartest thing I've